Hey everyone, the product stream just finished, and it was kind of mid. I don't know, like this one just felt more mid than everything else this year. So we're gonna kind of quickly go through it. They were hyping up some announcements, but I feel like some of those announcements were just, they didn't really hit the mark. So first off, we have the new fighters rule update. This is the new restriction list in Japan. We were expecting a lot. Okay, a lot of people were expecting a lot more than what we actually got. What we got was standard hits only, of course, right? Because, you know, Japan doesn't do anything on the standard. Trick Moon hit to 1, and that's it, all right? Then we have Sturgeon and Charmnet unrestricted. So overall, yeah, Bav Sagra got hit, got another slap. Okay, this is gonna be like a harder slap compared to like the Drag Vader hit, right? But I don't know. It turned like Bav Sagra from. I feel like it's still a really good deck. You know, you don't have as big Trick Moon columns. It makes reshuffling your Trick Moons a bit hard to get the counter charges and all that. So it's going to be overall hard to get the counter charges. We know that there's going to be a new card that searches for Trick Moon. So you can put that into the deck, or you just play the deck like not super relying on Trick Moon. I mean, that's going to be kind of suck. And sure, you can just decide, you know, Bav Saga is not that good anymore. But then there's like other decks right now that we have like exactly right now that are very good. Like Vigilia, for example, Heart Lulu, Minerva. So none of those got hit. So overall, the meta is kind of just going to still stay the same, in Japan at least, minus Bav Saga. And if you did see like the results and the conversion ratios, I did think Bav Saga was slightly higher than the others, but that doesn't change the fact that the power levels right now for standard are just at those specific decks, and for good reason too, right? So I think people were expecting a lot more. They wanted to see other decks do well, or the other decks that, you know, those decks get hit, and then allowing other decks to kind of rise up and kind of balance it out a bit more. Even if there were going to be like slight slaps to the wrist, like another Drag Vader hit. But the fact that they didn't means that we're going to have to expect a lot more from the new ride lines going forward to really compete. At least until December, because that's when they said they'll be releasing a new restriction list. So that's that. In terms of the unrestricts, the Sturgeon unhit really, I don't think really does too much. I don't think Gandiva will suddenly become good again. At least she'll be able to play at locals. And then the Charmnet one is probably the more relevant one. But again, Stoke is not really in a good place, and it's not because Charmnet was at 2. Levidras, I think we'll definitely see a bit more play. But overall, it's just mostly power creep that has dealt with Levidras. Just Virgila, Minerva, again, Halulu, all these decks just being very, very strong. Very easy to... Well, maybe not easy to play, but easier to set up and just kind of do its own thing, and then just pop off kind of thing. So I feel like they will just still stay ahead. So that's kind of it for the ban list. If you just want to stay for the ban list, that's it. But I'm kind of going to go through the other info as well, because to be fair, there really wasn't that much crazy info anyway. So yeah, let's kind of move forward. Next was, there's going to be more D-Days things if you, it's like battle passes, or if you still play D-Days. Like, I don't know if anyone does, but yeah, you get to play up to Festival Collection, but it's like a year late, right? It's like a year late to play Festival Collection, the worst. I'm not going to say anything else. Next is a Frieren collab. So this was the collab that was kind of like hinted at or kind of hyped up a bit. Frieren for Vanguard was a surprise. People were expecting it might have been another one of those Sega IPs, like the Love and Burial, the Musha King stuff. I think people like kind of like it just because they're so random. But Frieren's a bit weird. We get to see some of the cards. This is coming out the next set. This is coming out in 2 weeks, by the way, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, here's the thing. So we see some of the cards. They're gonna announce more of these cards tomorrow on Thursday stream and kind of show them off. But I don't know. It feels so random. It feels so like just out of left field. And I feel like if it was a Frieren collab, they probably should have announced this way earlier. And it does add to the kind of collab fatigue. I don't know. It just feels so. It feels a bit tacked on. So yeah, and it's gonna be another Keta Sanctuary collab, by the way. So right now, Keta Sanctuary is the home of all collabs. And you know what will go really well with this deck? Probably the Nebula Knight Order. You know, I don't know. I'm just making things up here, right? But yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be just like all the other collabs. It's probably gonna be cheap just because everyone's gonna crack so many cases that these things will be everywhere. So everyone can build a Frieren deck, but it just feels kind of random. I don't know. It's like I don't really like the collabs are a double-edged sword to me. All right, they can kind of get more people into the game, but at the same time, we're getting so many of them. It feels like they're just diluting the game itself. Like when you see results. Well, right now we don't have that problem because it's literally just like Dragon Empire and like Minerva, right? But when you look at results and you just see a bunch of like non-Vanguard stuff, and the fact that like all the easiest decks to build in Vanguard to start off are literally collab decks. So they're not really playing Vanguard. They're playing, Love and Berry. They're playing, what would be Frieren or like quintessential quintuplets. Why can't you just play Vanguard as your starter deck? Why is it so hard to build a normal Vanguard deck, but it's not hard to build like Bang Dream, right? It's way easier to build Bang Dream or like that's just my gripes with it. But yeah, this was out of left field for me, right? And this was the big reveal, I guess. And then after that, we do have a reveal of the DSR. So it's going to be Draconis. Yeah, looks nice. Looks nice. It's cool. Not much else to say there. Then we also have Alk. I think this is probably the best info we got the whole Vanguard stream. I'm not gonna lie, okay? I think a lot of people, if you guys don't know about Alk, this used to be like a starter, and then everyone liked Alk so much, it got like a break ride, and then it got a stride. So due to popularity of this card from way in the beginning, she evolved. She went from a grade 0 to a grade 3 to a grade 4. So due to popularity, she got more buffs. All right, and now we get to see it stand. So it's probably the coolest. If you don't know anything about Alk, if you're a new player, well, enjoy the Blahage or whatever it is. Or yeah, that's it. It's a cool card. I think a lot of people, a lot of the OGs would be happy. All right, even if they're even if people in the West don't like Lyrical or Bermuda Triangle, Alk is usually an exception, right? The exceptions for the Bermuda side is like Alk and a Coral, right? Coral. So yeah, there we go. That's probably the coolest info. But there's a few more slides, but let's kind of go through. Next, they announced the new like set 12. So this one's going to be so it's like, how we have the anime and then the non-anime set. So this is going to be like the non-anime set. This is going to be based on Skyride. So we're going to get some Skyride main characters here. We get to see some of their cards, and we get this. I don't know what this is. It's like this is a Dark States card. It's like a, I don't know. It's like that Shadowverse Worlds Beyond character that's red, the new Abyss guy, but he's like blue. Blue and orange. So we got this one. I honestly don't read any Skyride. No, actually, I get 4 copies of Skyride every time it comes out, but I don't read it. Yeah, so we got this one, and then we got another one. This is like a Zorga deleter dude, right? But this is for Stoicheia. So yeah, but the one thing that I'm curious about this is because it's based on Skyride, right? For English, we have the problem of promos, so we have to wait for the cards to come out and all that stuff. So will we have that problem, right? Will we have that problem? I don't know. What is also going to come with Skyride is, well, they get alternates, but there's going to be a collab with, they already announced a collab with Skyride, and it's actually going to be Monster Strike. So we don't get Monster Strike in English, so does that mean that we're not going to get this collab? Probably, right? Probably, but I think because our collab schedule is delayed, I think this is going to be like will this be the Frieren booster, or will it be another one? But we might not even get the Frieren collab. That's the crazy thing, right? English might not even get the Frieren collab. So I don't know. It remains to be seen. We just might miss a bunch of collabs, and then now next couple of booster packs are going to be kind of mid. Yep. And then after that, we do have a master deck set now. So not a premium stride deck. A lot of people were expecting premium stride deck, but a master deck set one. So for me, this was again a bit of a surprise. I feel like for these 2 decks, we got Odium and Immorta. This is not Draconis, by the way. This is Immorta. I feel like this is a bit too soon, Like, I feel like Odium just came out the other day, and Immorta is like kind of whatevs, you know. So what we don't know anything else much about. I'm assuming because they're reprinting the Urara Master Deck set that these things were relatively successful. But I just don't see anyone getting the Erica one, right? Because what's the point? Like, there's nothing. If you're building an Immorta deck, unless there's like some insane reprints in there, then at least the Odium one is a relatively decent deck. But don't forget the last time they made these deck sets, they printed a pretty decent Regulus piece for one of them, right? For one of them. So it could be that they print a really good Regulus piece for the Immorta deck set, and then you're forced to buy it. You know, hey, money, eh? Other than that, again, like there could be some really good reprints. I know Avarice Resta is really expensive right now, just because of Odium and because of Heart Lulu and all that. So if they're able to print that one in this, then that would be nice. I think Gabrielius is also pretty expensive too, but you have to remember these reprints that Boucher does. They don't always reprint the ones you want. So still skeptical. We'll see how it is, but this is coming out January 23, so it's going to be a while for us as well. And then after that, we do have just the kind of the product announcement, what's coming out soon. So this is the Frieren one, Frieren with this booster pack. Then we have the reprint of the Master Decks that were coming out the same day, Lyrical in November, and then we've got the Skyride in December, and then the Master Deck set in January. And they have a schedule of all the WGPs as well, so we know that the Nationals for WGP in Japan is going to be December 13 and 14. But just this is also they announced that the ban list will also be sometime in December as well in PDF. So that's why I'm assuming they're gonna finish the Nationals and then do a ban list like sometime later during that month and call it a day, right? So that's kind of all the news. Again, I felt like it was kind of meh, right? It was a bit mid. I didn't vibe. That's how you guys say it, right? I didn't fully vibe with all the info, and I hope they do drop more info later on. It'll probably be in January when they do have that 15th year anniversary thing. Well, that's gonna have to be a crazy announcement. That's it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Was it a good reveal for you or not? And I'll see you all next time. All right, bye.